One, two, three. What's good, YouTube? This is RPU here, and I'm back again with another video. And guys, XRP has been on a tear, man. Ripping to the upside, 15% yesterday. XRP Army and Ripple has been trending on Twitter for the past 2 days, man. What a perfect time to be an XRP investor. It's a perfect time to talk about XRP. Today we're going to be talking about the recent news going on with the Ripple SEC case. This case is slowly coming to an end. We're already in February, and there have been many developments that we're going to talk about. But despite the Ripple SEC case, Ripple continues to make partnerships internationally, and also many countries are developing CBDCs with Ripple. And so the entire world is accepting and adopting Ripple. In fact, the United States is the only country that deems XRP as a security. Something is wrong with that. It's just illogical. You know? We got three stooges working at the SEC, man. Jay, Bill, and Gary. Jay, Bill, and Gary. Jay, Bill, and Gary. Jay, that's Mo. Mo, he's the mastermind. I consider Jay to be the mastermind because he's Mo, because he's the one that filed the lawsuit. Then we got Bill Heyman over here. He's Larry. And then we got Gary over here. He's Curly because, well, Curly's bald. Jay, Bill, and Gary. Jay, Bill, and Gary. but hey, it just doesn't make sense, man. Something is wrong at the SEC, and everybody knows it. Let's jump into this information, man. Follow me on Twitter at RPUReloaded so you can get my latest updates and retweets of things that I think are interested in the crypto space. Guys, I'm 3 followers away from 200 followers on Twitter. Let's get the followers up, man. Follow me on Twitter at RPUReloaded. And just a quick side note, I want to give a happy birthday to Brad Garlinghouse. He turned 51 2 days ago. I know I'm late, but happy birthday, Brad Garlinghouse. I just want to thank you. Ripple and XRP have changed my life. Like, you have no idea. But we're going to be going over some of the latest articles from Finance Feed. Shout out to Finance Feed, y'all the plug. This is from January 25th, 2022. This is the first article. It says, Ripple fails to stop discovery extension amid SEC's 180 degree on Heyman's speech. Now, the plaintiff, the SEC, has made a 180 degree turn by suggesting that the speech wasn't merely peripheral to actual policy formulation, but was in fact a quote-unquote essential link in the SEC's deliberative process with respect to Ether and other digital assets. It's been a lot of flip-flopping at the SEC. First, they said that Heyman's speech was law. And then the SEC comes out and said that they didn't give any clarity to Bitcoin and Ether. And then when the judge grants Ripple's request to turn over the emails in the Heyman speech, they want to push the case back, but they also want to claim DPP privilege, government privilege. And so it's like okay, and then after that, Jay Clayton was exposed for giving a speech saying that if you want to understand the securities law, then I suggest you go look at Heyman's speech on the SEC's website. So is it law or is it not law? Which one is it? Which one is it, man? I'm getting so confused. I really just want to understand why Ethereum is not a security. Because if I can understand why Ethereum is not a security, then I can understand why XRP is or is not a security. But based on all the research that I've done, XRP is not a security. If you haven't seen my video called XRP is not a security, go watch that video. I will leave a link in the description. I did a lot of research, and the SEC has said that they don't consider cryptocurrencies that run on distributed ledgers to be securities, right? And then XRP is more decentralized than Ethereum. So if Ethereum is not a security at its decentralized level, then XRP cannot be a security because XRP is twice as decentralized as Ethereum. And then Ethereum had an ICO and XRP did not have an ICO. So, but you consider tokens that had ICOs to fund their enterprises as securities, right? But Ripple did not have an ICO. And then you say, we have a common enterprise because we're depending on Ripple's, managerial efforts, right? No, Ripple is open source and it's permissionless. The XRP ledger is open source and permissionless, and anybody can build on top of it. The price of XRP is not just dependent on Ripple's managerial efforts. We got people building on the Songbird network. We got people building on top of Flare. We got Wrapped XRP now on the Binance Smart Chain. Like, we have multiple entities operating on the XRP ledger. We got Sologenic. We got the EA ecosystem. So, and all of these projects involve XRP. So how can you say that the price of XRP is solely dependent upon the managerial efforts of Ripple? I know I'm going on a rant. I'm supposed to be reading the article, but I've been holding for 3 years. Some of the people have been holding longer, and I feel your pain, man. It just doesn't make sense. Now, expert discovery have been pushed back by 1 month. How long can a case be legally pushed back? Like, it's crazy. I don't get it. Like, in criminal court, when you go to jail for a crime, you're supposed to have trial within 60 days. This case has been pushed back 2 years. Now, I'm not going to lie. There are court cases that get pushed back multiple years, especially murder cases. I know someone who was sitting in jail for like 5 years in county jail. But, bruh, like, how long can you push this case back? Like, are you going to push the case back till 2025? Like, for real? I don't even think you could push the case back much longer. Like, will the economy hold up much longer? Like, seriously. Like, liquidity is drying up. I got another video coming out. But expert discovery have been pushed back by 1 month due to the spread of Omicron variant following a joint motion. They both agreed to it. After that court decision, Attorney Jeremy Hogan said the change in schedule is likely to mean the judicial end of the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit would be in between August and September 2022. Well, I guess that's more time to accumulate. I was really hoping that this case would be settled in March or April. Why does Bearable Guy have March 13th marked, man? But he also has the sun shining in August, so I can see the case getting pushed back for a couple more months, but man. But look, we already in February, the days are already flying by, and so you better be making every day count, man. Get on your grind, get your XRP up. Now that the SEC has been granted an extension in order to file a motion for the reconsideration of the court's recent DPP ruling, expert discovery won't conclude until March at the earliest. Damn, I want to get past this part. I want to get past this part. Like, how much evidence? Like, you guys are, the SEC is looking for so much evidence, but they won't turn over. They won't turn over nothing that Ripple asked for. Government privilege. Government privilege. Come on, bro. Discovery won't conclude until March at the earliest. The SEC's request is granted in part. The SEC may file any motion for reconsideration by February 17, 2022. Oh, that's 9 days away. And the defendants may file their response by February 25th, 2022. Wrote Judge Sarah Netburn in the court order. No reply briefs are permitted. Yes, yes, yes. No more pushbacks. No more pushbacks. No more pushbacks. Oh man. Briefs shall be limited to 10 pages, double spaced, and the publicly filed version should be minimally redacted. The SEC may submit 10 additional documents for in-camera review along with its motion. Why do they always try to like censor and redact everything? Like, man, we wanna know the truth. The deadline for either party to file an objection to District Judge Torres from the court's January 13, 2022 opinion and order is stayed until 14 days from a decision on the motion for reconsideration. The wider XRP community was surprised by the decision, as Ripple's objection to the request pointed to the plainly not appropriate arguments that the SEC was raising. The SEC seems to be desperately trying to overturn the ruling that made available to Ripple the documents regarding emails and drafts of ex-SEC Director Hinman's 2018 speech. Is the draft going to be much different from what's on the SEC website? I'm going to probably do a video going over the speech because I haven't read it. But as far as I could tell, XRP is not a security. The plaintiff has made a 180-degree turn by suggesting that the speech wasn't merely peripheral to actual policy formulation, but was in fact an essential link in the SEC's deliberative process with respect to Ether and other digital assets. So the Hinman speech is legit then. That's what they're saying. So we can't see, can we see it? Like, where can we see it? They're gonna say government privilege. It's like, well, how are we supposed to know if we're a security if you won't tell us why we're a security? And then on top of that, you wait. XRP has been trading for 8 years, and Ripple has been constantly asking the SEC for clarification, and they would not give a response or nothing until the last day of Jay Clayton's tenure. And so how can you didn't give a fair notice? Like, how can you know if you're a security if somebody won't tell you? And if they didn't know, how can they tell us? But if they did know, why didn't they tell us? That's the question. So this statement goes 100% against the SEC's prior position on the matter, as the agency said in court. The speech was Hinman's personal opinion. Ripple CTO David Schwartz even choked on his Diet Coke, he said earlier this week. Hard to spin this favorably. The only thing I could think of is maybe the judge suspects the SEC will not only appeal her decision to Judge Torres, but also to the Second Circuit, and she wants to issue a bulletproof decision, said XRP holders John Dean. Man, he's gonna... Okay, so he's gonna like appeal, dang, and try his hardest like to not release these documents. Like it's like, okay, well if you're not gonna do it, then I'm just gonna go above you and try to appeal to a higher court. But hey, that's the court system, you know. They can do that. But like they said, you know, if her decision is bulletproof, then the appeals court will agree with it. There's no silver lining in this ruling granting the SEC extensions of time, even if the order on the motion for reconsideration is even eventually upheld. Now, discovery won't conclude until March at the earliest. Jeremy Hogan also commented, we're already in February. I just want this case to move forward, man. I feel like I'm stuck in purgatory. This case has been pushed back for 2 years. 2 years. I done put 3 years of my life in the XRP, man. So this article came out January 27, 2022. It says Ripple faces new challenge from SEC over fair notice on XRP. Oh man. The ruling by Southern District of Florida Court on January 21st, 2022 rejected the fair notice defense as a matter of law and awarded the SEC summary judgment. The SEC has today filed a letter of supplemental authority in further support of its motion to strike the fair notice defense. Addressed to Judge Annalisa Torres, the plaintiff brings to the table the SEC versus Keener case in which the court concluded that the defendant unlawfully failed to register as a securities dealer. But Ripple is not, XRP is not a security. In doing so, Keener rejected the same fair notice argument Ripple asserts in this case, and that the SEC has moved to strike, holding that the defense fails as a matter of law, said the letter. The same fair notice argument Ripple asserts. According to court documents, the Keener defendant contended he had no fair notice that his conduct could be unlawful because he lacked notice his conduct could make him a quote-unquote dealer, as defined in the Exchange Act. The defendant's arguments included that 1. The statutory language is not transparent, which is why the SEC issued so many interpretations over the years. And we have SEC officials on video talking about sometimes they don't know how to regulate the law. Sometimes they go to these communities and ask them, what do we need to do? So things change. Things are not like it's a whole bunch of gray areas. Like, come on, man. And that's why people are getting away with what they're getting away with, because there's nothing set in stone. And that's why we need regulation. Number 2, the SEC's position in this litigation directly contradicts its prior guidance. Of course it does, because Ethereum had a freaking ICO. Ethereum had an ICO. And three miners control 47% of Ethereum's mining power or hash rate. So Ethereum is prone to a 51% attack. How is that decentralized? Make it make sense to me. Number 3, whether the defendant had fair notice on the new way in which the Exchange Act definition of quote-unquote dealer would be applied is a factual question that must be decided by the jury. Man, I wish I could I could fight this case. Just off of the information that I found on the internet. Like, if you haven't seen my XRP Is Not a Security video, go watch it, man. Link will be in the description. The ruling by Southern District of Florida Court on January 21st
2022, rejected the fair notice defense as a matter of law and awarded the SEC summary judgment. Despite that XRP has been trading for 8 years and that Ripple has been going to the SEC, working with the SEC. Come on, man. Defendant had noticed that his conduct could be unlawful based upon the express language of the Exchange Act. Decisions from this circuit applying the definition of dealer and SEC guidance itself. The SEC filed the letter because it considers the case as being analogous to the fair notice argument on the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit, thus providing additional authority for the SEC's motion to strike Ripple's fourth affirmative defense. Ripple is invested in fair notice defense. The defendants are reportedly invested in their fourth affirmative defense, which argues the SEC failed to provide fair notice that its conduct could be deemed as unregistered sales of securities. Last year, attorney Jeremy Hogan said a Ripple win on that defense could, quote-unquote, save the industry from the SEC, please, as it would serve as precedent, meaning that the SEC failed to provide fair notice to the whole digital asset ecosystem in the past. Wow. Yeah, because everybody would just use fair notice, you know? Everyone prior to this lawsuit, I believe, you know? But I heard that the SEC has filed sent out 75 notice of intent to sue Coinbase and other exchanges for their lending platforms and stuff. So I don't know. Earlier this month, the SEC filed another letter of supplemental authority in support of its motion to strike. The plaintiff has brought to the court a 20th December 2021 ruling on a Northern District of Illinois court denying the defendant's motion to dismiss the SEC versus Fife. According to the letter, the Fife defendants contended they did not have fair notice of the SEC's novel interpretation of the statutory term, quote-unquote, dealer. The court stood by the SEC as it agreed that for purposes of assessing fair notice and due process, quote-unquote, the standard against which the SEC seeks to measure defendants' conduct is the statute itself, the language of which defendants and all others, even arguably involved in securities transactions, plainly have had notice. The SEC is looking to make the same argument in the SEC versus Ripple case. It is for the courts, not the parties, to determine whether particular conduct falls within the scope of the statute. But Ripple can still make their case, though. Ripple can still make their case. Ripple can cite court cases just like you can. Come on, man. Indeed, the court rejected the defendant's fair notice defense at the motion to dismiss stage despite acknowledging that lack of quote-unquote binding authority constructing the term dealer. In Ripple's case, binding authority constructing the term investment contract has existed since 1946. Well, I mean, they already turned it down, so, I mean, that means we're going to trial. We're going to trial. Let's go to trial. And if Ripple needs help, you know, I got my video. I can present my video, you know, showing what the SEC said about how they don't believe that tokens that run on distributed ledger technology are not securities. So Ripple rejected SEC versus Fife analogy earlier this month. Yes. Ripple struck back. In this letter, Ripple countered that the Fife case does not support the SEC's arguments. Yes. Fight back. The question before this court arises in a completely different procedural posture. Whether Ripple's answer plausibly sets forth a cognizable legal theory for its affirmative defense, such that it should be permitted to develop evidence and present the defense on a more complete record. Attorney Hogan said the same on Twitter. It was in a very different stage of litigation, and the standard is completely different than the SEC versus Ripple case. The standard. XRP is the standard. In the Fife case, the defendant tried to argue fair notice in order to dismiss the lawsuit entirely and failed, because the burden is very high on a party moving to strike a pleading. Fife can still raise it as an affirmative defense later, and I expect they will. So they're trying to say it doesn't apply, but they're saying that they might still use it at a later time. I'm not putting anything past the SEC at this point. In the Ripple case, it's the SEC that is trying to strike the affirmative defense, so they have the burden of proof, and it has the high burden to meet. The general idea in modern courts is that the decision should be made after looking at the evidence, unless there is no plausible way of winning, he explained. So, but didn't they just say that they turned it down? They said they rejected it. So, and I guess they responded to it. Now, this article is from January 29th, 2022. It's just a whole bunch of going back and forth, man, and a whole bunch of delay and stalling tactics, man. SEC delay tactics, a pressure play on Ripple, or is there something really bad? Hogan analysis. What is the SEC hiding? Why can't I see the documents? Why XRP is a security? Why is the documents that have come out recently, like 80% of it is redacted? Like, what's so bad? I just want to know why Ethereum is not a security. Among the 66 documents, there could be something really bad that can destroy the SEC's case, Hogan suspects. This could justify the legal gymnastics. The SEC versus Ripple has become riddled with delays. Tell me about it. Mostly requested by the Securities and Exchange Commission alone. Documents concerning the 2018 on Ether by William Hemming, an ex-SEC Director of Corporate Finance, and other records pertaining to the SEC's views of the nature of digital assets, including XRP, Ethereum, and Bitcoin, have become the main issue. Ripple and the SEC have been in this back and forth since quite early in 2021, with the defendants being granted their motion to compel the production of such documents and the SEC refusing to comply, namely by arguing they were protected by the deliberative process privilege. Well, how are we supposed to know if we're security if you're not going to show us why we're security? 2018 speech is an essential link in SEC's deliberative process. In August 2021, Judge Sarah Netburn ordered an in-camera review to ascertain what could be ruled as privileged and what could be handed over. The infamous 2018 speech by ex-SEC Director of Corporate Finance, William Hemming, on the nature of Ether was accepted by the court as his personal opinion. Personal opinion. So if it's his personal opinion, it shouldn't be protected by DPP because it's not the government stance. But then the SEC comes out and does a 180 and says that it's law. His speech is law. So which one is it? Is it protected by DPP or if not? Or is it not? Now because of that, the emails and drafts pertaining to that speech was ordered to be produced to Ripple. Give it to us. Give it to us. Which prompted the SEC to seek a motion for reconsideration, a process that usually takes 2 weeks to prepare. Oh, man. According to attorney Jeremy Hogan, who shared a video explaining the history of the DPP and the XRP lawsuit. In its request, the SEC not only asked for 5 weeks to file the motion, but argued the speech was an essential leak in the agency's deliberative process. So, you guys are playing games. You guys are playing games. You got one person out here saying one thing, you got another person out here saying another thing. And so, the SEC needs to get their act together. They need to get their mind right, because you're making everything all confusing. Now, in its request, the SEC not only asked for 5 weeks to file that motion, but argued the speech was an essential link in the agency's deliberative process. Yeah. The SEC respectfully submits that these additional documents clarify the truly deliberative nature of the discussion surrounding the speech across the SEC, and shows that the speech was not merely peripheral to actual policy formulation, but was in fact an essential link in the SEC's deliberative process with respect to Ether and other digital assets. Himmen's drafts, or SEC's official position on Ether. Now, Jeremy Hogan concluded that either way, the SEC will have to produce something, or the drafts and emails of Himmen's personal opinion, or the SEC's official position inspired on Himmen's thought process. I had to read that a couple times because the SEC has been so adamant that the Himmen speech was just his personal opinion. And now, are they arguing that's not the case, or that the SEC had or has an official position on Ether that the Himmen speech contributed to? Which one is it? Hogan asks. If that's the case, someone should tell Chairman Gensler, because I don't think he has seen that yet. And if that exists, surely that's an official position, and it's discoverable by Ripple. So maybe Ripple needs to see a copy of that decision about Ether. Just saying, yeah, can hand it over. Like, if that's an official position, then let us see it so we can know how to follow the law and how to become regulatory compliant. Something really bad that can destroy the SEC's case. What are they hiding? As to the delays, the newly ordered extension may be just the tip of the iceberg. There's some skeletons in the SEC's closet, man. If Judge Netburn sticks with her original order that Himmen's speech emails have to be turned over, please, the SEC, they can appeal the decision to the main judge, Judge Torres. Wow. Wow. And what? That's another 5 weeks? That's another 5 weeks wasted? Come on, man. And that will take at least another month. Oh, man. Another month for that process to take place. And that takes us into March or April before this issue is concluded with Judge Torres, Hogan explained. Wow. Damn, a whole nother month. A whole nother 2 months. Like, I feel like I'm stuck in time. You know? 2 years have gone by, and I feel like I'm just stuck. You know, just waiting on this case to get done. You know? I need this case to get on so XRP can move so I can get on with my life already. For real. So, and even though all of the discovery might be concluded by the end of February, how can Ripple draft and finalize a motion for final judgment when it doesn't have all the evidence yet? Yeah, turn over the freaking documents. Stop stalling. Stop stalling and turn over the Himmen speech. Turn it over. You guys have been asking for documents from Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson, which have been happily turned over and released. But when we ask for one thing, we can't get one thing out of the SEC. The Florida-based lawyer then analyzed the SEC's systematic refusal to produce the documents as a tactic, a stalling tactic. He found the first two times the SEC refused to deliver as a little strange, but this last motion for reconsideration is not normal. Look, I think my thought process at first was I thought that the SEC was stalling to give time so Ethereum could switch to Ethereum 2.0 from proof of work to proof of stake. But now Vitalik Buterin has come out and said that it could take up to 6 years for ETH 2.0 to come out. 6 years. And so if we're trying to compete with China on the global stage, we don't have 6 years to wait around. Bitcoin is energy, consumes too much energy. Ethereum is not scalable. We need Ripple and XRP. So why the delay tactic by the SEC? It is either a pure pressure play on Ripple, as the defendants are the only party that suffers with a never-ending lawsuit, or it can be a measure to protect itself from something really bad against the SEC. The SEC is trying to make Ripple investors suffer. They're trying to make us suffer. They banned XRP off lots of exchanges, no liquidity in America, pretty much, you know. And so they are trying to inflict maximum damage. And so, you know, it is what it is, you know, but I got diamond hands. I've been holding since 2019, you feel me? And I ain't letting go now, so do your worst, SEC. But what are you really hiding though? What are you hiding? Now, among the 66 documents, there could be something really bad that could destroy the SEC's case, Hogan suspects. This could justify the legal gymnastics. Yeah, it's a whole bunch of corruption. It's a whole bunch of corruption. We know that Heyman got paid $15 million by somebody connected to the Ethereum Foundation. Come on, man. And look at this. Ripple's relationship with global regulators is in stark contrast with U.S. SEC. The SEC, the United States, is the only country that deems XRP as a security. Ripple is seeing worldwide acceptance and adoption. The United States is the only one. No, I would like to say we are friends. Here in the UK and many places around the world, we are working very, very closely with central banks and government regulators. That's what's up. Ripple is working with the system. We're plugged in with the central banks. We're plugged in with the World Economic Forum. We're plugged in with the IMF. We're plugged in with the White House. The SEC is the only one that's not getting with the program. Now, Ripple remains one of the leading figures in the world of digital assets. While the firm continues to pursue its mission of disrupting cross-border settlement by using its blockchain technology and network, it has to deal with the many regulators across the globe. The company is happy to say it has cozied up with most, but unfortunately not with the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, with whom it has been fighting in the New York federal court that may well define the future of the digital asset industry. You know, the United States does not play. I mean, New York does not play when it comes to regulation. Like, I was reading an article on Tether today, which I'm planning on making a video about, but the New York Attorney General does not play. They investigate and charge, and you know they will lock you up, you know, and, or fine you. You know, they don't play when it comes to these when it comes to like investments and stuff. So But yeah, if Ripple can get regulation in the United States, you know how big that would be? Ripple would be the only crypto with real regulatory clarity. The SEC has already came out flip-flopped and said that they didn't give any type of clarity to Bitcoin and Ether. But now they're lying and saying that they did. It's weird. I would like to say we are friends. As part of its good relationship with the Bank of England, Ripple was able to partner with UK payments platform Modular to enable seamless payments into the United Kingdom and Europe. This will allow businesses to run real-time payments internationally powered by Ripple's financial technology RippleNet. Modular offers a payment as a service solution into the European and UK payment rails with access to critical payment infrastructure in the UK, including faster payments and BACS Chaps, SWIFT, which we've taken over, and SEPA in Europe. Modular is one of the few non-banks to be directly connected to the Bank of England, allowing the payments platform to settle funds at the central bank. It is by establishing and nurturing a daily relationship with agencies and central banks that Ripple is able to build a successful enterprise in such a regulated industry. Ripple's volume is going to be in the trillions. Trillions. We are looking to solve a very specific problem in the market. In our approach, we want to work with the system, including ecosystem partners, governments, and regulators. Cindy Young, the managing director for RippleNet, you're told City AM. I would like to say we are friends here in the UK and many places around the world. We are working very, very closely with central banks and government regulators. Ripple is working with the system. We have regular meetings around a variety of topics, she continued, insisting that Ripple is in a very good position with regulators worldwide. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, on the other hand, has decided to move forward with a complaint against Ripple in December 2020 for an unregistered securities offering for the sale of XRP since 2013. But you waited so long. You waited so long. Although the SEC has successfully won or settled in similar litigation such as Telegram and EOS, this time the crypto ecosystem is uniting against the agency as the regulation by enforcement practice has failed to provide proper notice of the rules to operate in the United States. And EOS is still around. I mean, what's the freaking big deal? You know? EOS paid the fine and they kept it moving. Ripple and XRP holders giving great sign from Judge Torres. That's good, man. That's good. I'm happy to hear something. Something good. Tell me something good, Judge Torres. Judge Annalisa Torres is back in action and she favors public disclosure. Yes. Which should favor Ripple as judge will have final say in deliberative privilege issue. So this is the regular judge right here. And she favors public disclosure. Judge Annalisa Torres has granted in part and denied in part a request from Ripple and individual defendants to seal exhibits in their filing to crush the SEC's motion to strike the fair notice defense. Why do they like seal stuff? In the ruling, the court ordered 3 documents to be unsealed. The notice of Brad Garlinghouse's deposition in the SEC formal investigation, a Chris Larson email stream, and a Brad Garlinghouse email. The files can be read by clicking on the respective links. I'll probably make a separate video on that. This video is already over 40 minutes long. The judge also denied Ripple's request to seal legal memos provided to Chris Larson and briefing associated with those memos. As to Ripple's request to file SIR reply to the SEC's motion to strike the fair notice defense, the court granted the defendant's wishes. The SIR reply will be filed on the 9th of February 2022. The order demonstrates how the court sees the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit, a case of public interest that deserves public access. Yes. This signals that the judge may frustrate the SEC's attempt to keep its documents away from Ripple and the public. We should have a right to see that. I mean, the SEC is a public. I mean, the government institutions are public servants, right? They're supposed to be out here talking about investor protection and all this and that. You want to protect the public, let the public see how you protecting them. Now, Judge Torres favors public disclosure. Yes. Attorney Jeremy Hogan went to Twitter to share his view that the ruling is a sign that Annalisa Torres, the judge presiding over the case, will soon start to move the lawsuit forward. Yes. Yes, no more stalling. No more stalling. There's only one major takeaway from this order on the Ripple versus SEC case. Judge Torres is getting ready to take over. That's what's up. The next couple of months will be very interesting with all the major rulings that are being teed up. Let's go. Let's go already. John Deaton, the attorney for the XRP holders in the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit, said rulings for Judge Torres are a great sign for his clients. What these rulings clearly show is that Judge Torres favors public disclosure. Ripple can seal certain documents, i.e. legal memos. Same applies to the SEC. Think ahead. We may ultimately get to see the 63 Hinman emails. I think they were just released today. The 63 Hinman emails mentioned in Deaton's tweet regard the deliberative privilege issue with the SEC. Judge Sarah Netburn has recently ordered the production of Hinman's drafts and notes regarding his 2018 speech, which John Deaton called Ripple's biggest victory. Let's go. Finally, a victory. The biggest victory for Ripple and XRP holders from Judge Netburn's recent decision isn't necessarily the email with the draft version of the Hinman speech. The most significant victory could prove to be the notes from meetings with third parties not associated with Ripple. Yeah, because they were probably talking about Ripple to these other people. Deaton further explained those third parties are very likely to be Ethereum's Joseph Lieben and executives from Consensus who met with him and others, as well as VC Working Group, a member of the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance. I think that's the same people that paid him $15 million. That's what's up. I can't wait to see all the corruption. It's going to be a scandal. It's going to be a scandal. These notes are no doubt from the above meetings. Judge Netburn ruled the SEC can still invoke attorney-client privilege regarding the personal notes memo by Valerie, I'm not even going to say that, and others. But if the notes contain statements made by the people at the meetings, it's not privileged. So hand it over. In order to ascertain what happened in those meetings, whether XRP, Ether, and BTC were mentioned and or distinguished, John Deaton has decided XRP holders will be filing a new Freedom of Information Act request based on Judge Netburn's findings. The meeting is not covered by DPP. That's what's up. In a somewhat surprising attempt to prevent the documents from being handed over to the SEC, the agency was able to be granted an extension to argue for the judge to reconsider her decision. Oh man. George Torres is about to take over. I hope she steps it up and goes hard, puts her neck on the SEC. Tell them to stop playing, stop stalling. The continued delays in the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit could push the timeline to 2023. Oh no. Oh no. Oh man. Another year. Everything else is mooning. Shitcoins are mooning. And they talking about another year? The continued delays in the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit can push the timeline to 2023. And attorney Jeremy Hogan shared a video where he questions if the SEC's delay tactics are a mere pressure play or if they are hiding something really bad that could end the lawsuit right away. Now that Judge Annalisa Torres is back in action, major rulings are expected to be made at a faster pace. If Hogan's suspicions prove to be true, if the court chooses to maintain its decision on the DPP matter, the lawsuit would end faster than expected and the XRP holdings would be unfrozen and hopefully relisted on Coinbase. I hope she maintains her decision. This has gone on long enough. It has. It has. 3 years of my life. I'm in too deep. I'm in too deep, man. So this is an article from February 7th, 2022. Why is Ripple's XRP so correlated with Bitcoin? JP Morgan report answers. From what we can tell, Ripple has been working with banks to help them build infrastructure to make cross-border payments, but few are using Ripple's actual cryptocurrency to execute them. Because obviously, they're waiting on regulation. We got Xcurrent, we got Xrp, which is now on-demand liquidity, but we're tied up in a stupid SEC lawsuit. But that ain't stopping people from developing central bank digital currencies. So it is what it is. Everything's tied to Bitcoin. As of right now, until we decouple from Bitcoin, then we're going to be correlated with Bitcoin. It is what it is. A JP Morgan report has delved into some unanswered remittance questions, including the ripple effect. The blockchain specialist has connected to more and more banks, but the price of XRP continues to follow BTC because everything follows BTC. That observation remains true today, as the price of Bitcoin shows signs of recovery following weeks of downward pressure. The positive mood is fueling general optimism in the cryptocurrency market, with the majority of digital assets following suit. BTC is trading at 42,700, and XRP is trading at 75 cents at the time of writing. Yeah, I can see the correlation there. Few Ripple partners using XRP for cross-border payments because they're waiting on clarity. Ripple reported five-fold growth in remittance transactions between 2019 and 2020. But if that's the case, why is Ripple still trading so closely with Bitcoin? As shown below, wouldn't Ripple's separate and distinct use case result in a separate and distinct return profile from Bitcoin? Questioned Michael Cymbalus, chairman of market and investment strategy at JP Morgan Asset Management. The answer may come as a surprise, but it seems that most financial services firms are not using Ripple's XRP to execute cross-border payments. From what we can tell, Ripple has been working with banks to help them build infrastructure to make cross-border payments, but few are using Ripple's actual cryptocurrency to execute them. Well, like Brad Garlinghouse said, he said once the cryptocurrency market was starting to mature, they would be able to flip the switch. And it's happening. Why aren't they powering payments with XRP? The follow-up question is why Ripple's network has not moved to XRP as its standard process for executing cross-border payments. JP Morgan report doesn't answer that question, but there is more than one potential reason for the slow institutional adoption. The SEC, that's why. First, processing speed. The report includes an image source from a November 2020 document by Zorba et al. At Cashapp University with the capabilities of some distinguished financial infrastructures. While Bitcoin and Ethereum execute 7 and 15 transactions per second, respectively, Ripple executes 1,500, which makes it a clear winner against, for example, EOS and its 8,000 transactions per second. But EOS doesn't have the connections that Ripple has. Ripple, however, still pales against established infrastructures like Visa and PayPal. According to the figures provided, Visa executes 45,000 transactions per second, and PayPal executes 56,000 transactions per second. This only goes to show that Ripple still has many established competitors in the cross-border payments technology space. Those figures, however, were obtained in November 2020. A lot has happened since then. I heard from Love for Crypto that Ripple was going to get an upgrade called Cobalt that was going to allow it to have 100,000 transactions per second. And then Flare and the Ethereum virtual machine is going to give XRP the capability of smart contracts. So XRP, the ledger, can and is being upgraded. Another potential reason for the slow adoption by Ripple's banking partners could be the freaking SEC versus Ripple lawsuit. The court case has been hurting XRP holders for a long time, tell me about it. But Ripple has kept going and plans on doing so until the bitter end. Throughout the lawsuit, Ripple has successfully established new partnerships and launched new products like Liquidity Hub, so it is clearly being able to continue to grow its network and business. That, however, doesn't mean that XRP is being used by Ripple partners to perform transactions. The expansive network of Ripple partners may be waiting for the lawsuit to end in order to use XRP without any fear of regulatory issues, either with the US SEC or a local regulator that chooses to follow the SEC's footsteps. We've been waiting so long. Like, Bank of America has been waiting in the wings. You know, Ripple said they were going to make an official announcement about that. Shout out to Alex Cobb for that break of news. But they can't even do that because we've been tied up in this litigation for 2 years. The Xrp lawsuit has most recently saw the court denying Ripple's request to seal a few exhibits that the SEC plans to use as evidence against him. Attorney John Deaton praised the return of Judge Annalisa Torres and her public disclosure policy as a good sign for XRP holders. The evidence against Ripple made public was analyzed by Attorney Jeremy Hogan, who ironically said he hopes the SEC has better evidence than these two documents. I hope so. I hope not. I hope not. I hope we can just move on. One of the exhibits made public is an email chain between Chris Larsen and an XRP holder about the price dynamics linked to Ripple's expanding network. The counterpart is a Portugal national residing in Portugal, which is likely to mean this email exchange is outside the scope of the SEC, even if the court found XRP was marketed as a security. Because, okay, so since he's not in the United States, it's outside of their jurisdiction. Look, this case has been going on for so long. The SEC has been pushing the case back for 2 years. Judge Torres is back. She's about to start putting her foot on the SEC's neck, telling them to stop delaying. We're getting things approved despite the SEC stall tactics. It's going to come down where they eventually are going to have to turn over these documents. It's inevitable. You're going to have to turn over these documents. You can't push this case back much longer. And even if you do push this case back longer, I'm still going to be right here holding. I'm already 3 years in. I'm in too deep, man. Now, John E. Deaton says some people like digital asset buy have said the SEC government didn't see John Deaton coming. Well, John Deaton didn't see Jason Foster and Empower Us coming. I tip my hat to you, sir. I speak for 65,000 people when I say thank you for your demand of transparency. Now, Empower Oversight says this admission from the SEC means its previous no records response was false. Empower Oversight expects full, legally required transparency from the SEC. Crypto Law says breaking news. Documents released by Empower Oversight reveals the SEC found approximately 1,000 pages of records detailing communications between William Hemming and Simpson Thatcher while he was in office, responsive to Watchdog's Freedom of Information Act requests. So he was, communicating with people who had ties to Ethereum while he was in office? Document appears to be a letter memorializing apparently combative conversations between Empower Oversight and SEC staff over claims of no response documents, now subject of litigation in groups' investigation of potential conflicts of interest of Hemming, Clayton, and Berger. Yeah, lock them all up. In January 28th call, SEC staff claimed an error in previous search was corrected, and the more than 1,000 documents were uncovered linked to the Simpson-Thatcher request. Other searches ongoing. And Power Oversight further demanded details on search methods. Read the full document here. The behind-the-scenes detail of the SEC staff fighting this group's investigation is why Congress needs to step up and conduct an independent investigation of this matter. Thank you. And they all corrupt. They're all tied in. The whole entire system is corrupt. And that's why we need decentralization, man. But even still, all this corruption is not stopping the developments of Ripple. It's not. Payment infrastructure news says the last few days have been marked by positive news for Swift competitor Ripple. Observers speak of a possible turning point in the lawsuit with the SEC. But more interesting from our point of view is the cooperation with Modular, who could give the RippleNet project a new boost. That's what's up. That's what we need. The new partnership means that firms using Ripple's RippleNet for real-time payments will have an alternative to legacy corresponding banking for payments, aka Swift, into the UK and Europe, explains Finextra. Yeah, we just spoke about Modular a couple of days ago. You know, Ripple was out here taking over the UK and Europe. And then last but not least, Payment Infrastructure News says, quoting Cindy Young, MD, RippleNet Europe, together, we look forward to providing faster, simpler, cross-border payments experience for customers on RippleNet into the UK and Europe. Shout out to the Bank of England, man. Shout out to Mark Carney. We're taking over Europe. We're taking over the UK. And eventually, Ripple is going to take over the world. The SEC needs to step aside and let Ripple do what they need to do, man. Because the financial system ain't going to last much longer. I don't know if they know, but we're on the verge of a liquidity crisis. I just seen an article today that said liquidity in the market is drying up. And so, one way or another, Ripple's time is coming. But yeah, if you stuck with me to the end of this video, I want to thank you very much. This video is now over an hour long. You know, I really appreciate you watching my videos. And if you are holding Ripple, you got diamond hands, man. You got diamond hands because we've been going through this for so long. So long. We need resolution. We need relief. We need regulation. We need Ripple to get past this case. Let me know what you think about all this. Let me know, what do you think the SEC is hiding? This is RPU, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.